Hey guys, Aaron from Aldred Performance here. Today I'm going to bring you the next episode in the Run Faster and Jump Higher series. So this session is going to be based around development of athletic ability for a lacrosse player. The way that I break most of my lacrosse athletic development sessions up is into two parts. The first part is more sort of what you consider general athletic development, like acceleration, plyometrics, sprinting, bounds, hops, jumps, everything that sort of is quite universal in that sense of just becoming a better athlete there. And the second portion is more specifically related to like the throwing skills of lacrosse. So that might be some positional attractor work to try and solidify that in the athlete's movement repertoire. It might be stability work of trying to make them more comfortable in that position. It could be improving tension tolerances at certain positions that the athlete may not be able to reach very well in game sort of specific movements. Or it may just be changing sort of velocities into positional work. So in the athletic development portion of this session, we have some four-way pogo hops, as well as some stiff leg pogos. So both of these are to really try and enhance my athletes' reactive ability and how elastic they can be when they're putting that force into the ground and trying to utilize getting as much energy back from that ground as they can. We then move into some 20-meter sprint to stops, as well as some regular 20-meter sprints there. So both of those drills obviously focusing on acceleration and then into deceleration as fast as possible, which I personally think is quite undertrained in most field sport athletes. So much emphasis gets put on acceleration and top speed, obviously very, very important, nonetheless, not to take away from that. But in team sports, the amount of times that you accelerate maximally and then have to decelerate relatively maximally as well is very in proportion to how often that is actually trained. So having someone decelerate as fast as possible, whether that be to a stop or whether that be to a deceleration and then back into a sprint the other way, both benefit the athlete immensely and I think should be trained more personally. From there, we move into the second portion of the session, which is more based around the sort of the throwing skill and the positions associated with that. So first up, we have a rotational stick isometric, where the athlete's in their sort of shooting stroke position, wound up maximally, really trying to improve the stability of the skill, their sequencing of what joints are sort of contracting at what time in that maximally wound up position, as well as improving their tension tolerance in that compromised position, so to speak. And then from there, we are taking that drill and extrapolating into actually a shot. So we're winding up maximally, trying to really pull ourselves into as deep of a range as we can there, and then really emphasizing our follow through with as much sort of snap and whip as we can on some shots there. And last but not least, we have some double back foot contact shots. So these are quite heavily javelin influenced in the sense that we're taking two back foot steps as we go into our crow hop into that front foot contact there. So the aim of this exercise is to really maximize our horizontal velocity by coming into that front foot contact with more horizontal speed. It gives us the ability to have more ground reaction force into that front foot and subsequently have a higher rotational sort of torque and velocity there. It also helps us practice our rhythm, timing, and sequencing of when we're hitting each joint angle as to sort of start that motion of that coiling up.